Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining me for this series. So we will be doing an upper body strengthening class today. We're going to get straight into it. We're going to do a little bit of a release and then we will go from there. So I want you starting on your hands and your knees. Hands are going to be directly under the shoulders, knees are directly under the hips. So find that parallel, squared off position. We're going to do a few flexion and extension. So I really want you to focus on mobilizing the spine all the way up, engaging the core and gently nodding your chin to your chest. And then as you exhale, you are going to extend the sitting bones back behind you, lengthening through the spine, gently lifting the chest up towards the ceiling. And again, rounding all the way up. Feel each vertebra moving all the way up towards the ceiling. You really want to feel that lift all the way through the back, pulling into the arms and pushing those hands into the floor. And we uncurl, shoot the sitting bones behind you, lengthening through the spine and gently lifting the chest. So I don't want you to throw your head back. Just think of it as a little chest lift. One more, rounding all the way up. Push the hands into the floor. Feel the energy flowing through the palms of the hands all the way through to the back. And uncurl. Good. Lengthening through the spine and gently lifting the chest. We're going to take the body to a neutral. From there, you're just going to extend one arm lengthened up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, you're going to thread that arm through. And again, inhale, lengthen up. And exhale, thread that arm through. You want to try and keep your hips as parallel and squared off as possible. So don't let the hips shift to the side. We want to feel that rotation from the waistline up. Last one, through and up. Good. Place that hand down, other side. Inhale, extend the arm up and exhale, through. Reaching up towards the ceiling, opening up the chest. Use that breath. Inhale up and through. Let's do one more. Opening up the chest and exhale through. Good. Placing the hands directly under the shoulders. All we're going to do is a little inhale, bend those elbows down. So you will feel that your shoulders have shifted over towards the wrists. Exhale up. And don't worry too much about the posture in the hips. It's okay if they sway back. We're just getting those triceps activated. We want them to fire before we start the series. Lengthening through the spine. So even though your hips are shifting back, I still want you to feel the energy flowing from the tailbone all the way through to the top of the head. Feel like you're being pulled in both directions. Two more. Last one. Good. From there, we're going to extend one arm up to the ear. Exhale, rotate and open. Inhale back to the parallel and exhale down, same arm. Exhale, open. And exhale down, one more. Other side, inhale, lengthen to the ear. Exhale, rotate in the chest and open. Inhale back to the parallel, exhale down. And exhale, open, lifting up off that supporting arm. Last one. And down. Good. From there, you're going to tuck the toes under as you exhale. Engage and lift in the abdominals so much that the knees gently hover off the floor. Inhale, slowly lower them back down, barely touching, and exhale, back up. Inhale, lower, and exhale up. So keep going. What I want you to think of is really lifting from the abdominals. It's a very small movement in the hips. It's not a lift. It's in the hips, that is. It's a tiny little lift of knees off the floor. So I want you to think of the core activating and those knees just hovering up. 2 more. Last one. Hold it there. Small little pulses down with those knees. Now, while we're pulsing, I want you to focus on those shoulders. Lengthen them away from the ears. Lengthen the lats down to the waistline. Really activate the abdominals, lifting as much as you can. 3, 2, 1, and gently push back into a downward dog. So now we're aiming to get our heels down to the floor. If you can't, that's perfectly okay. You can have a slight bend in the knees. We want to push the body through the arms. Inhale and exhale, release it through. 1 more and good. Lifting up through the heels, rounding down all the way through the body. Hover those knees off the floor and we hold for 5, 4, lengthening through the spine. 3, 2, 1, and slowly lower those knees down. Gently push back into a child's pose. Stretch those arms forward. Big inhale and exhale, let it all out. And again, inhale and out. You're going to step the left arm open and then take the right arm to the left so that you're stretching out that top side. Push the hips back as much as you can. The more you push the hips back, the more you're going to feel the stretch along this top side of the body. And through to the center and other side. So I'm opening up my right, my left is joining, and I'm pushing my left hip back. Big inhale and exhale, sink into it. 1 more. And out. All the way back to the center. Good. Okay, now that our bodies are nice and warm, we're going to get into the planking series. So we're going to be on elbows to start. If at any point you feel you need to lower those knees down, take a break, please do. Pick it back up when you're ready. Okay, so we're going to start with the hands or the palms pressing down into the floors. Knees are directly under the hips, and I want you to just sink into the shoulders. Okay, so that's what we don't want to do. As you exhale, I want you to lift up away from the floor as much as you can, pushing the palms into the floor for that extra pressure and extra support. And again, inhale, sink down between the shoulders, and exhale, lifting up. Let's do 1 more of those. Inhale down, and exhale, lift. Now that we have the lift in the upper body, you're going to engage your core. You're going to lift the belly. You're going to extend the one leg out into a plank position. And then without the rest of the body moving or shifting, you're just gently going to take the other leg out into the plank position, and we're going to hold it there. So while we're holding the plank, just a few things. I would rather you have your hips a little bit higher than dropping down and hyperextending in the lower back. So you really want to feel lengthening out through the tailbone, from the top of the head, through the tailbone, all the way to the heels. Big inhale and exhale. So planking and breathing go hand in hand. They work together. They make it really tough. 1 more breath. And exhale down. You're going to slowly lower the one knee down and then the other. Good. Okay. We're going to go back up into that plank position. So inhale, release the body down between the shoulders. As you exhale, push the hands into the floor, push the forearms into the floor and support the shoulders. We're going to extend that one leg back out and the other leg out. All we're going to do is a little shift forward. So your shoulders shift over the wrists and back. Inhale forward, exhale back. You want to keep the plank position of the actual body and the hips as level as you can. So it's just a small little movement in both directions. Keep breathing. 1 more. And slowly lower the knee and then the other. And we're going to stretch the arms up, keeping the palms where they are. Okay, so we're going to inhale, lower the elbows down to the ground. Exhale, extend the elbows, lengthen one leg, lengthen the other, hold it there. 3, 2, 1, knee down, add the knee down, and we go again. Inhale, lower the elbows to the floor, exhale, extend. One leg out, keep those hips as stable and in line as you can. Other leg out, and we hold it for 3, 2, 1, good. Knees down, we're going to do 2 more of those. Inhale down and exhale, lift up. Extend the leg, and then the other little movements. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Lower the knees back down. No collapsing, it's very controlled. Inhale down and exhale up. We're going to extend into the plank. This time we're going to hold it there. We're going to go through our checkpoints. I want you to push the hands into the floor. Lengthen the shoulders down away from the ears. Feel the waistline pulling towards the center. Lengthen all the way from the top of your head through to your heels. Deep abdominal activation. Big inhale and exhale. One more. And as you exhale, you're going to lift in the hips, push back into the downward dog, lengthening through the backs of the legs, stretching through the calves, through the hammies, backs of the knees. Shoot those sitting bones behind you. Inhale, and as you exhale, shift forward back to that plank position. We're going to hold it here for 3. Nice long necks. 2, 1, and slowly lower the knees down. Open the knees and push back into a child's pose. Okay, so you could tell just from that, I think we did 2 breaths in that plank position hold, just from going through all the checkpoints from the top of the head all the way through to the heels. You're already there for a good 10, 12 seconds. So focusing on that, that's how we're going to build up the resistance and the length of our planking. Okay, so now we're going to go back straight into the elbow plank. Legs are going to be extended out behind you, engaging the core, so you always want to get into that posture carefully. From there, you're going to rotate your feet to the side. So I'm on the base of 2 feet. I'm extending one arm up towards the ceiling. I'm lifting up through my hips as much as possible, keeping my hips parallel so both hips are facing forward. And just a very simple inhale, arm goes overhead, and exhale down to my side. Inhale overhead, and inhale and exhale. 2 more. Keep lifting up through the hips. That supporting shoulder and supporting lat are working really hard. And down. We're going to extend that arm up to the ceiling, and we're going to do a small little lower in the hips and a lift. I don't want you to drop in the shoulder. 2, 3, 2 more. 4, core is engaged. 5, and all the way through to the center. Hold that middle plank. We're going to go through our checkpoints, lifting up through the lats, pushing the palms into the floor. Top of the head through the tailbone, nice and elongated. Lengthen the heels behind you. Engaging the core. Big inhale and exhale. We're going to rotate through to the other side. Extend that top arm up, lift up through the hips as much as you can. And we take that arm overhead. And now as you pull it down to your side, I want you to lengthen that arm away from you. Feel like I'm pulling you by the fingertips. And again, inhale over, exhale down. 3. We're going to do 2 more, keeping those hips as parallel as possible. Last one. Take that arm straight up, small little lower in the hip, and lift. So I want you to think of your lower body doing the movement. The upper body doesn't change. 2 more. Last one. Good. Through to the middle plank. Palms down. Lengthening through from the top of the head all the way through to the heels. Lifting up out of the lats. Shoulders are lengthened away from the ears. Big inhale. and out. One more. And exhale. Good. Slowly lower those knees down and push back into a child's pose. Good. So you can see just from a few holds in the planks, a few little movements. If you're focusing on your posture, you really don't have to hold them forever. You don't have to do 20 plus reps of the exercise. So we really want to focus head to toe posture, alignment, and control. And that's where we're going to get strong. Okay, so now we're going to go into a side plank. We're going to have both knees bent. Bottom elbow is bent, so on the floor, I want your knees to be in a little triangle in front of you. Your feet are going to be in line with your glutes. Okay, very simple. As you exhale, you're going to push the bottom elbow into the floor, lifting that supporting lat, armpit up, lat up, waistline up. Then you are going to lift the hips up off the floor. We're going to extend that top leg. Sorry, my alignment's wrong. You're going to extend that top leg out. You're going to do a little lift and a lower. Keep breathing through it, focusing on the posture, nice long necks. If you do have a little bit of strain in the neck, just turn your eye line to that bottom elbow, bottom arm, just to relieve the pressure there a little bit. Keep moving that leg. 3 more. 2, keep pushing those hips up. 1, hold that leg up. We're going to take the arm overhead. As you exhale, you're going to do a little contraction back. So you're falling off your hips a little bit and then extending out to the straight line. Keeping the arm and the leg gliding along the same line and out. Breathe through it. Reach. And reach both directions. The bottom glute is going to start kicking in. 2 more. And last one. Extend it out. We're going to take this top arm. We're going to rotate the upper body down. Top leg is still parallel, knee facing forward. We're going to do a little lift and pulse. 2, 3, 4, lift up out of the lat, lift up out of the waistline, 3, 2, 1, and slowly lower that leg, lower the hips, and rest. We're going to just go over into a mermaid, take that top arm up and over, really try and lengthen this hip down, the glute down, and reach that top arm. Big inhale and exhale. You can rotate that top shoulder down. You should feel it a little bit more along the back of the side. And open up. Good, we're going to go to the other side. So we're going to swing the legs around. Okay, find that posture with the legs. Knees are bent, feet are in line with the glutes. Really find that posture in the supporting arm before you even lift up. So you really want to be in the right posture to start, and then everything else should fall into place. So as we exhale, we're going to lift that top arm up and lift. From there, we're going to extend that top leg. Okay, so we're just going to do lift and lower. Now you might feel the top glute kicking in a little bit more than it did on the other side. It's because of all the work that it was doing on that bottom side to start. Keep breathing, keep lifting up off the supporting arm. 3, 2, last one. Hold that leg up, extend the arm overhead, and we exhale, pull the knee to the elbow, small little contraction in the abdominals. Inhale, lengthen, and again, contract and lengthen. Lifting up off that supporting arm. Very important. That's how we're going to get into that waistline. That's how we're going to get stronger in our planking. 2 more. And last one. All the way in and stretching out. Rotate that top arm down, rotating the shoulders, and we pulse. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly lower that leg. Slowly lower the body. Never collapse out of the exercise. And up and over, reaching that top arm. Lengthening through the side. Rotate that top shoulder down. And opening back up. And pushing off that bottom arm. Good. Okay, so from there, another way to work our planking position is getting into those triceps and into the back. So what we're going to do, you can have your feet hip distance apart. They can be slightly further in front of you or away from the glutes. So just do a few, see what's more comfortable. Hands are going to be behind you. Fingertips are facing the glutes. As we exhale, we are going to lengthen through the shoulders, engage the core, and gently push the hips up into a reverse plank. And then as you inhale, you're going to lower the glutes back down to the floor. I'm not sinking into my arms. And exhale up. So my glutes are barely touching the floor. It's just a little kiss. And up. Good. One more of those, and then we're going to add in a little forward fold. Yes. So now you're going to lower down. Put the weight into the glutes completely. You're going to round up and over. Extend the arms forward. And place the hands behind you. Exhale up. So when we're in this position, you want a nice straight line. Don't let the head throw back. You want to keep it supported. Lower down, control, engage the core, forward fold. Reach the arms forward, rounding in the lower back. And exhale up. 2 more like that. Slowly down. Control through the arms. And rounding the spine. And up. Last one. Also, depending on how tight you are, you might feel a really nice stretch along the front of the arms and the shoulders. And exhale all the way up. And slowly lower the glutes to the floor. Okay, now from here, you're going to inhale and lower the elbows to the floor. Find a posture that's comfortable at the bottom, because this is where we're going to come to every time. So now we're really focusing on core. I want you to think of this as a core exercise, not an arm exercise. The arms will follow. Without activating the core properly, we're going to struggle to lift both elbows off the floor at the same time. And that's what we want. We want to lift up in one smooth movement, down in one smooth movement. So find that posture, lengthen through the shoulders, lengthen through the lats. Inhale. As you exhale, you're going to engage your core. So really activate, pull the ribs to the center line. Gently lift both elbows off the floor and stretch those arms. If you can't get up in one smooth movement yet, that's okay. That's what we were going to work towards. Inhale down and exhale. Deep abdominal activation, lengthening those arms out. Inhale down and exhale up. Let's do 3 more. Inhale down and up. 2 more. And last one. And up. Good. Now from there, we're going to add the 2 together. We're going to do the lower lift into the full body lift and lower down. So we inhale, lower. Exhale, up. Inhale, lift the hips. And exhale down. We're changing the breathing a little bit. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lift the hips. And exhale down. 2 more. And last one. I know the breathing is sounding ridiculous, but honestly, if I didn't breathe, I wouldn't be able to do half the stuff that I do and can get through. The breathing is the key. And slowly down. Good. Now, rest there for a second. Okay, while we are resting, I'm going to explain what we're going to do. We're going to take the legs up into a tabletop position. So what I want you to do is find that posture on your on your coccyx. Okay, you're going to be between the coccyx and the glutes. One leg up, engage the core, make sure those elbows are behind you, palms are pressing into the floor, and then slowly lift the other leg up. I don't want your hips to tilt forward. So if you feel that's happening, rather engage the core, tilt the pelvis in the opposite direction, and have a little bit more of a round in the pelvis. Okay, so if you can't keep the neutral, you're going to have a little bit more of a round, but I don't want you to hyperextend. Find that posture. All we're going to do, very basic toe tap. Exhale back. Lifting up out the lats. Lengthen through the shoulders. Lengthen them away from the ears. Nice long neck. Just simple. And I say simple because it's pretty straightforward, but a lot is happening in this leg movement. So keep those hips parallel. Keep the feet parallel. Make sure the knees aren't dropping in or externally rotating. We want to keep them parallel. Imagine you're between two walls, so there's nowhere to go except straight forward. Lifting up out of those arms, out of the shoulders. The core should be working deep into the abdominals. One more each side. Good. Rounding the lower back down. You can sink into the lats, into the shoulders. Pull the knees in. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, you're going to lift back up into that starting position. Okay, now we're going to extend the one leg out just off the floor. We're going to inhale, swap, and exhale, swap. If you can't go that low, keep the leg to a 45. Small movement. So it's more important for me that your hips are in the correct posture than how low the leg can go, always. It's always about posture over rep and height. Lengthening through the leg. So even though it's not going towards the ground, I still want you to lengthen all the way. Open up that hip. And one more, lengthen up through the shoulders, through the lats, and both legs in, rounding down through the spine, sink into the shoulders, and exhale, lifting up, supporting. Okay, now what we're going to do is a little taking the legs over to the side. So I want you to keep the top knee. Don't let it glide down. You want to keep the top knee in line with the bottom knee. And exhale to the center. Inhale over. And pull back to the center. Inhale over. And center. Lift up through the lats, through the shoulders. Push the palms into the floor. We're still focusing on upper body. We're conditioning that posture. And one more. In and out. To each side, that is. In and out. Last exercise, you're going to extend the legs out to a 45 and control them back in, keeping a lift in that lower back. And again, inhale out and exhale in. My legs are shaking. It's okay if they're shaking. I want you to squeeze them together. Control the movement. 3 and in. 2. Last one. And exhale and slowly roll all the way down. Gently move those arms out. Hug the knees into the chest. And breathe. You're just going to do a small little roll from side to side. Push the lower back into the floor. And then you're just going to do little circles. Good. And then change direction. Good. Okay, from there, you're going to just grab behind the knees and gently roll up. Okay, we're just going to release the upper body, release into those shoulders. You're going to go onto the hands and knees. We're going to do that first release we did, but this time we're going to hold it open. Opening up that top arm, reaching the chest. And as you exhale, you're going to glide that arm, thread that arm through, Gently lower the shoulder to the floor. You're just resting on the side of your head, and then if you feel comfortable enough to take this opposite arm off the floor, reach it all the way up and just twist into that upper body. Deep inhale and exhale. And again, around that top arm, up and over, very slow, very careful. Press that hand into the floor. Use the core, lifting all the way back up. And other side, reaching that top arm up towards the ceiling, opening up the chest. Hips are still as square as possible. And then take that arm, thread it through, gently leaning onto that bottom shoulder and side of the head, and lifting that arm up, rotating in the upper body, twisting as much as you can from the waistline up. Gently roll that arm or round that arm up and over. Press the palm into the floor, engage the core, and exhale all the way up. From there, we're going to just step the legs back into a plank position, deep core activation, and then the other leg extends out. All you're going to do is inhale, push the knees towards the floor and the bum back, and exhale, shoot into the plank position. Inhale, push back. You want to keep your knees parallel to the floor, your shins parallel to the floor, and exhale, forward. 2 more. And last one. And hold it there. Let's go through the checkpoints. Lengthen the shoulders down. Pull the lats down into the waistline. Long neck. Lifting up through the abdominals. Lengthen through the spine. From the top of the head all the way through. Shoot to the heels. Big inhale. And out. 1 more breath. And out. Lower the knees down slowly. From there, we're going to go straight into a rounding of the spine. Pull the chin to your chest. Should feel a little bit easier to get to this position now that we're warm. And lifting up through the chest, opposite direction, reaching from the top of the head through the spine, through to the tailbone. And rounding up 1 more. Engaging the core, push the palms into the floor. Rounding all the way up. And then we're going to take the body to a neutral. And take a big inhale. And as you exhale, pull those ribs towards the center line. And again, inhale. Lengthen through the spine. 1 more. And out. And rest. Good, excellent. Okay, that was quite a challenging class. Planking always is. I always find planking difficult. Because the stronger you get, the more you can, you can hold the series for longer or get through a few more different exercises within that series. So for me, planking is always a challenge. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you feel worked. If you feel like it was a little bit out of your comfort zone, I would suggest going back to the planking postural in the tutorials, I think, or in the fundamentals. I have a planking series in there, how to get into the correct posture for your body. So go back to that and then try this class again, see if it makes a difference. But thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you soon.